90.9 The Vine, in conjunction with AreaSports.net, proudly presents The Sports Couch. The Sports Couch is 60 minutes of great local sports talk each and every Saturday morning as we visit with area coaches, athletes, and other media personnel to cover the area sports that's most important to you. Who will be on the couch this morning? Let's find out. The Sports Couch is on the air right now. Good morning again, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Couch on this very first day of December. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Ounsema, and there must have been a lot of rain last night, Danny. I see a lot of water staying in the ditches. Did it rain that hard last night?
The reports I've got this morning about 3/4 of an inch,
Okay.
But I'm like you, it looked like it rained about 2 or 3 inches.
Well, I slept through it, I can tell you that, because I was pretty beat last night after
Me too.
the basketball game.
Are you sure we're even on the air?
Yeah, I believe we are. We fought some technical issues at both locations last night, but we made it through. And you had a chance to see the Foxes play last night down at Goreville, and I did the Wayne City Grayville game here in Wayne City. And we'll talk about those games and much more here throughout the morning. But, man, I'll tell you what, it's a busy time of year with basketball. You got tournaments going on, shootouts going on, regular season going on. There's more games today. I think you're going to head back down to Goreville today for another Foxes game.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna make the duration of this whole week. It's just been a bad week from start to finish, and there ain't no use in quitting without, you know. You might as well have a whole week of bad. Maybe we'll get it out of our system this week.
Hey, those Foxes fans, they appreciate your efforts down there. I don't know how many miles you're logging going back and forth down to Goreville, but it's a lot of miles. You know, that's no easy trip.
No, you know, and that's what's aggravating about it when you put the time and effort in to go down there and then things won't work. And I just ain't got a fast enough hookup. That's what it amounts to.
Yeah, you know, you get into some schools, some situations, the internet compatibility or capability sometimes is just not wired into some of the gyms. And so you struggle with that some places.
But I got to say, Goreville,
they're trying.
The guy down there is just as frustrated as I am.
They're trying.
He's trying everything he knows how to do too. And hats off to those folks because they are trying to take care of me.
Well,
it's just been what it is.
Yeah, and that you do appreciate that. Yeah, you really do. On the show today, we're going to visit with 6 different coaches. We're going to try to squeeze in 6 guys today, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have Coach Scott McElravy of Fairfield on the show with us. They got a win over Sisney last night. Coach Doug Creel of Mount Vernon will join us. They beat Marion last night to improve to 5-1. They've got a big game today against Kent Williams' team, St. Louis DeSmet. That'll be played over at Edwardsville today in a shootout. We'll talk to Doug about that. One of his former players, Brian Gamber, who coaches the Woodlawn Cardinals, he'll be on the show with us this morning, as will Doug Miller, the coach of the Foxes, talking about last night's game and the rest of the games this week. Coach Phil Leib of the Flora Wolves will be our first visit with Phil so far this basketball season. They are playing over in that Kaskaskia Classic in Carlisle. And Brad Beaty, the coach of the Weber Township Trojans, will also join us this morning as well. So we've got a bevy of coaches on the show this morning, so stay with us.
Man, I'm surprised you got Doug this morning. His team tips off at 10 o'clock.
Well, maybe he's going to talk to us from the bus.
Yeah, they tip off against the Benton Rangers at 10 o'clock this morning.
Well, we got him about 9:15, so I guess he's going to talk to us from the hallway or the locker room.
It's going to be a quick one from the locker room.
I'd say it probably will be. All right, you got some scores to pass along to us.
Yeah, last night, the Fairfield Mules 66, Sisney 31, Wayne City 93, Grayville 54, Mount Vernon 58, Marion 31, Centralia 59, Carbondale 47. West Frankfort beat Salem 62-38. West Frankfort must have a pretty decent team. They've surprised some teams already this season. T-Town over Breeze Central 63-52. Gallatin County defeats El Dorado last night. I'm sure that was a shocker to a lot of folks. 53-46. Thompsonville defeats NCOE at home. Thompsonville had a home game there last night, 54-39. We'll see the Thompsonville Tigers next Saturday night as the Foxes travel to Thompsonville. Alany 57, Robinson 37. Red Hill 55, Lawrenceville 54. Newton 55, Paris 41. Mattoon 56, Effingham 53. Effingham St. Anthony 69, Sullivan 32. Vandalia 78, Altamont 68. Up to Carlisle, Kaskaskia and Turney. Greenville beat Flora 67-50. Carlisle beat Hillsboro 58-52. At Goreville, Johnson City defeated Hamilton County 46-41. Benton over Hardin County 64-31. The Benton Rangers jumped out to a 19-0 lead in that game down there last night.
Boy, a good start for them.
Goreville gets their first win. They defeat Anna Jonesboro last night 52-49.
All right, and again, you can check out all those scores, of course, on our sports website at AreaSports.net. And last night, as you said, Fairfield Mules went on the road at Sisney last night, the Running Lions, and the Mules won that one handily, 66-31. And joining us right now is head coach of the Mules at Scott McElravy. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good to have you on the show. Congratulations on another win last night, and your Mules have no blemishes so far. It's a great start to the season.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, especially when we started the Capitol. It's the first time we've done this, so kids are having a lot of fun so far.
Oh, I would say so, and you got some big wins up there at that tournament, none bigger than that championship game when you beat Teotopolis. Talk about that.
Well, it's always a really, really tough tournament. We started the tournament with Lawrenceville, very scrappy team, much improved from last year. Hard-fought win there. I thought our second game against Olney was one of our better ones. Coach Flanagan does a great job, and they've got they're one of the top teams we'll play this year. We won going away in that one as well. The Saturday morning game against Salem was rough. We were up double digits, maybe 16 or 17 at one point, and then we had some turnovers and missed free throws, and actually had a chance to win it, missed it. They had 9 seconds to go to win it in regulation, and thankfully, we dug down and played some good D, got it to overtime, and we went going away. Sometimes you've got to do that. You've got to win tough games. And
right.
That set us up for T-Town, and the boys were excited. We were up 17, I think, going into the fourth quarter, which is a little surprising maybe to most. But, the kids are playing well. They're playing together. We're deep, which helps us a lot. So, it was a good weekend, good start to the year.
Yeah, that Salem game, that was a real gut check time for your Mules. And like you said, in order to be successful and be champions, you've got to win some games like that along the way. And that was really a gut check for you that you were able to overcome, and that kind of gave you momentum going into that T-Town game.
I think so. Every year in March, you got madness in the NCAA tournament, and there's always upsets. You think back to Loyola last year and other teams where, the highest seed doesn't always win. And, you're not going to make all your buckets all the time. You're not always going to make all your free throws. So you got to find ways to win. And we're trying to hang our hats on our defense this year. We've really improved on that. Our defensive pressure is pretty good. So, we'll have another tough one tonight.
Yeah, you will, and we'll get to that in just a moment as you're going to be on the road at Cesar tonight, and they're playing real well. But let's talk a little bit about last night's game. I was doing the Wayne City game last night, so I didn't see your game, but I'm assuming you got off to a quick start there at Sisney?
We did. It was kind of a neat environment. I mean, the place was packed. People were up on the stage watching. Good friends with Coach Bowen. He does a good job. They're young. I think as the year goes on, they're going to get better. And the next couple of years, they're going to be right towards the top of that conference. But, yeah, we were a little bigger and quicker than they were. So, last night was good. We got a chance to play everybody, which was fun, too.
Yeah, sure is. Tonight, you go down to Cesar. Not an easy place to play. This is a great team that you've added to your schedule. I think it's a great game for both of you, really, to be playing each other. And, they're off to a really good start, too. I don't think they've lost yet. And
they've not – yeah, sorry about that. They've not lost either. They have they have a really good guard in Winchester. He had 36 against Frankfurt the other night. They're very scrappy. Coach Garner does a really good job. They pressure you up and down the floor. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch as a fan because both teams are going to get up and guard each other hard. But we play them out every year in football, so the kids know each other a little bit. But, yeah, this will be a good game. They're a good team, so we hope that we can get a lot of fans over to Cesar tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, that's a pretty tough environment to play in over there, and it'll be a good test for your Mules over there tonight. Like you said, Winchester's going to be a handful, but he's got some good players around him. But the Fairfield Mules also got some good players, so it'll be a great matchup over there tonight.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever brought a team over to Cesar, so we're excited about that. And that's what everybody tells me. It's a really tough place to play. So, that's what we need. That's what our kids need, going into conference season. That's what we need to get us ready for El Dorado tournament. And then later on in the year, as many tough games as we can to get us prepared for those tough situations.
Well, I can tell you it's tight quarters there, too, much like Sisney. But I think it might even be a little tighter in the fact that at Cesar, the fans are really on top of you. And, Danny, I'm sure you'll agree, it gets really loud at Cesar.
Yeah, and I think it's the closeness to the floor that really makes it kind of reminds me of the old days in the old Hamilton County gym. The people are sitting right there on you, and matter of fact, they can reach out and grab you once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll be electric in there tonight, I guarantee you.
Hey, a quick one on, you mentioned the old gym. We had Coach Reed speak to our boys before Thanksgiving, so maybe he was part of our good luck charm for winning the tournament.
Well,
so
don't give him too much credit.
That.
Don't give him too much credit. His head won't fit in the gym door the next time.
He's got some great stories. Good guy, too.
Well, again, you're undefeated so far, which is a good thing. But if you look at things that perhaps you need to work on, I assume that one of those things on the checklist is probably to improve the free throw shooting, particularly after what happened down the stretch against Salem, huh?
Yeah, and you know what's ironic about that? We were 9 seconds away from being in the fifth-place game because as it would have shaken out, Salem would have been 2-1, so would have Olney and us. And I know that we had the third best, so that would have dropped us all the way down into the fifth-place game. So you're 9 seconds away from going from fifth to first, which, like you said, that's a gut check thing. Last night we were perfect from the line. We only shot 6, but that's definitely an improvement. And we've got better shooters. We just, sometimes your sample sizes of shooting percentages and whatnot just in a few games, it doesn't equal out to what you're going to see at the end of the year. So we're going to definitely get better.
Coach, been down at Goreville this week trying to cover some games, and the free throw shooting teams have shot bad one night, and the next night it's lights out, and then the next night you're back to the same old deal, 1 out of 2. I can't really grasp my finger on what's going on with this free throw shooting at this time.
That's a good question. We have, we have some kids that can shoot it, and if I continue sports, we have plenty of kids that are sitting on the bench can shoot them too. Just practice, it's like anything else. You got to get in there and you got to practice, and we try to make them game-like in when we're in practice as well. If you miss, you run. It's not just you're sitting up there and you're just monotonous shooting. You definitely need to work on form, but you have to try to make it as game-like as possible. The only thing is in practice you don't have those hundreds of fans watching you, screaming at you or groaning if you miss. So,
or the coach.
yeah, we'll get better at it. And like I said, I'm really excited about having a chance to go to Cesar tonight. I hope, our fans are used to going there in football, so I hope, like you guys said, it's a great place to watch a game. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be fun for our kids.
Yeah, it'll be a fun game down there tonight.
Well,
if I wasn't going to Goreville, that's where I'd be tonight.
Hey, good deal.
Yeah. Well, win or lose, it's going to be a good test for you, and going to be one of those games that prepares you for what's to come, down the stretch and towards the end of the season, which is what you're building for anyway.
Yeah, we tried to. We knew we were going to be pretty competitive this year, so we sent a lot of feelers out to schools, trying to get. We got those 2 extra games with the 31-game limit this year that the IHSA put in, and Cesar and Casey Westfield were the 2 extras that we got. And Casey's a really good team. We'll talk about them in a couple more weeks. But they're coming to the Mule Barn, I think, for the very first time ever. These 2 games, and then we play all the old NEC this year again. We've got Olney coming back. They'll be back at our place later on, right after break, Christmas break. So we feel like we've tried to add to our schedule as best we can so that we can get ready for the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Well, it looks like, Coach, your team's playing for a pretty good seed at the El Dorado Holiday Tournament right now. The way your team's clicking off wins, that should be an interesting tournament down there over Christmas.
We hope so. Coach and Book and I were talking about that the other day. Our last 2 or 3 years have not been good there. Previous to that, we've had first, second, third. We've had a lot of success. So the boys are very. I think this group wants to redeem themselves from the last couple of years. To do that, we try to get as high a seed as you can. But, I think Carterville's back in the mix. They're getting bigger schools down there, so, it's going to get more competitive, I think, as the years go by. And schools that we don't always see, too. So, yeah, we love going down there. That you want to talk about great Sun-only experience right there. On the last night when it's just standing room only, it doesn't get much better than that.
You're exactly right, Coach. They can say what they want about all these tournaments around, but I'll still take the atmosphere, even from day one. Last year it was about as balanced a field as we've had down there, and there wasn't very few games that could have went either way, or everybody was playing up to their full potential, trying to squeeze out a victory. And the last day, it's just jam-packed in that place from start to finish.
Yeah, and last year we had some river schools that came in with not as good a record, but they played a step up in competition. So then, like you said, those first-round games are tougher.
Oh, yeah.
Than they used to be. But that's okay. I mean, that's what makes you better. And that's what also, if you're just a casual fan, you don't want to see 30-point blowouts. You want to see good games.
Right.
That's right.
So I expect the same this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially with Carterville added to the mix,
too.
Yeah, it's going to be a good addition.
Yeah, they're going to bring their fan base in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Kentucky schools, they don't travel well. So I think it's going to be a great addition. Shane Hawkins, his Pinckneyville Panthers played over there in the heydays, and it'll be a great tournament down there. But a lot of basketball between now and then.
Yeah,
a lot of basketball between now and then. You mentioned Coach Hawkins. He was a pretty decent player, I think.
Yeah,
he could play just a little bit in his day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And his son plays for him now in Carterville.
That's what I heard. So I expect good things from him too.
Yeah, he can fill it up as well. Coach, we'll let you go. We appreciate your time this morning. Congratulations on the win last night, and best of luck tonight down at Cesar-Valier, all right?
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right,
See
take
ya.
care. Bye-bye. That's Coach Scott McElravy of the Fairfield Mules. Winners last night over Sisney, handily, 66-31, I think was the final. And so they are 5-0 on the season and taking on an undefeated Cesar bunch tonight. That's going to be loud and raucous.
That'd be a great game to go see. If you want to see a good game in Southern Illinois tonight, travel over to Cesar. That'll be a good game over there.
I think I'm going to try to make both the Mount Vernon St. Louis DeSmet game this afternoon at Edwardsville and then go down to Cesar for the Cesar Fairfield game.
Man,
we'll see if I can make it to both of them.
Your wife must be gone or something. You're getting a lot of free reign right now.
She is doing some painting.
Oh, well, so she doesn't want you around.
Right. So it's like, okay, just get out of my way and let me paint.
You need to be gone.
So, that's fine. So, all right, I'll go see some basketball then, all right? How about that? Okay. Hey, when we come back, we're going to visit with Coach Doug Creel, the Mount Vernon Rams. They were winners last night over Merriam. They're 5-1 on the season. We'll talk to Doug when we come back. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Heard the old saying, practice makes perfect. Well, there's actually a lot of truth to that, and you can get one-on-one instruction in baseball, softball, basketball, as well as speed and agility drills at the Sports Zone in Fairfield. The Sports Zone has been in business for quite some time now and has helped many area boy and girl athletes excel in their sport of choice. Lessons and practice times are available at convenient times that meet your schedule. The Sports Zone is located on Delaware Street in Fairfield, and we appreciate their support. Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7322. Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home. They will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio and streaming live worldwide on both of our websites, Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org and also live on the Vine mobile app as well. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Ounsema. Visiting with lots of basketball coaches today, and last night the Mount Vernon Rams won on the road at Marion, a South 7 Conference game. The Rams win at 58-31, and joining us on the phone right now is head coach of the Rams. It's Doug Creel. Good morning, Doug. How are you?
Good morning.
Well, you ought to be more excited than that after that win. Good grief. You're 5-1 now in the season. You got to be happy with the way your team's playing.
You'd think he'd be 1-5 the way he sounded.
Are you awake? Maybe you need more coffee, huh?
I need more something.
You need more something. Okay.
It's good. It's good to win. Good to go on the road. Good conference win.
Yeah.
Not fun turning around playing a team that you just played a week ago.
Right.
Up there in the tournament, but nice win for us. I thought our kids played very well defensively and played well offensively. We were pretty efficient.
Well, that's what you want this time of year to start the season and get off on the right foot. 58-31 the final, and like I say, 2 wins against Marion this year, and always interesting going against an old friend too, in Gus Gillespie, who coaches the Wildcats.
Well, he coached for me. He's a good friend, and I don't like doing that either. Playing against somebody that you really, really like, and they lost a lot of guys from last year. They're going to get better, and I thought that we guarded them a little better, a little smarter than what we did the first time around. But we got to do the same thing today. We're going to talk about DeSmet here in a little bit and walk through their stuff because primarily we talked about Marion. We didn't even talk about DeSmet this week because we felt like, hey, we got to get the Friday game and then we'll get ready and see what we can do Saturday. So,
well, any chance some of your guys can grow 4 or 5 inches before 3 o'clock this afternoon?
Might need that. we may need some bigger guys, and I know St. Trey struggled with them. They got the ball around the rim several times, couldn't finish, and we may have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we can score around the basket a little bit. I'm hoping we shoot the ball well. We got to guard them. We got to hope a couple of their guys aren't shooting the ball well because we got to cheat some areas to help with their big guys. And but Kent does a great job. He's going to be he is a great basketball coach. Got great basketball mind. Loves the game. So he's going to do good things at DeSmet. And we'll have our hands full. But I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah, you're talking about Kent Williams, who coaches St. Louis DeSmet. They're off to a 4-0 start, and we all know how competitive Kent is and how he was as a player, both at Mount Vernon and at SIU, and I'm sure he's the same way as a coach.
Oh, I'm sure he just doesn't show it. Kent's kind of that silent killer. he's not the rah-rah guy. He's just a guy who can sneak up on you and get you. But, he's got a good basketball team. He's missing a couple stars. His good big guy didn't even play. He's been hurt.
Really?
I think he's missing another kid. But I think he's going to get some playing time today. But he's the better of the two. He didn't even play at St. Trey, and I know he's got another kid that feels like it's probably a starter that's been hurt. So they're going to get better as the year goes on. Of course, they play in a very tough league, playing Chaminade and Christian Bro, all the people that they play. So,
mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's a good cause. Coach's cancer. Carbondale plays before us. Althoff plays in it. Nashville's in it. Collinsville's in it. So there's some very, very good basketball teams, good teams from our area playing in it.
Well, Coach, you mentioned Carbondale. I see the Centralia Orphans got Carbondale last night, 59-47. Any surprise there to you?
Not really. Centralia, the system that they run is tailor-made for what they've got. Yeah, they don't have a great big guy, and they're missing a few things, but hey, they run their system well, and they got a good game plan, and that system's tailor-made for who they are and what they do, and I'm not even going to try to think 2 weeks down the road when we got to play them, but I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to worry about DeSmet, and then I'm going to start worrying about Carbondale, who we have in our home opener on Friday night.
Yeah, your team's been on the road. It'll be nice to get the chance to come back to home and have a home game, first home game of the season. You'll have six road games, 7 road games here on the season, so I'm sure you're looking forward to next Friday night.
Yeah, it'd be nice to play in front of our crowd, but sometimes your kids get too jacked up and try to do too much. But they'll settle in. It'll be nice playing at home. Like I said, we played 5 at Heron and played at Marion last night. Now we're going to Eversville High School to play the Smith. So it'll be nice next Friday night playing Carbondale home.
This game today, though, win, lose, or draw, it'd still be a good experience and a good growing experience for your team, won't it?
Oh, absolutely. We want to play good people. We didn't play very well against Collinsville. Collinsville's a good basketball team with some size, athletes, and I'm expecting us to play a lot better than we did against Collinsville. But we're going to have to compete on the glass. All our guys are going to have to rebound. We're going to have to really guard them, and we need to have a good game offensively. We need to be able to shoot the ball from the perimeter to help Amir have some driving lanes to be able to get to the rim. So we'll see how it goes, and hey, if things don't go well, we'll just get ready for Carbondale.
Are you going to get there early enough today where you can watch Carbondale play a little bit, do a little scouting?
Yeah, we're going to do our walk through at 10:45, and then we're going to get on that bus probably about 11:45, and then we're going to get over there. We're going to get there in time to see Carbondale play Highland. I know Highland's a pretty good basketball team too. So,
right.
That'd be a good game to watch, and then we'll tee it up and see what we can do, and then I'm going to come home and try to enjoy Saturday and Sunday before we get ready for Carbondale.
Yeah. All right, Doug. Well, I'll see you over there this afternoon. Looking forward to the game, and best of luck as you prepare for this match today, okay?
All right, we're going to need it. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. That's Doug Creel, head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams. Another big win last night over Marion. They're 5-1, and that's going to be a great matchup today going against Kent Williams and his team, St. Louis DeSmet, over at Edwardsville on a neutral floor.
Oh, yeah, DeSmet is surely the heavy favorite in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a powerhouse out of St. Louis.
Yeah, 6'9" and 6'10", and the 6'9" one's getting a lot of looks from a lot of colleges already. And although it did sound like he's been a little bit banged up and hasn't been playing as much lately, but sounds like he's going to play today. So
and that in itself presents a challenge for Mount Vernon Rams because you just don't have the size to compete with that.
No, it's really tough to try to match up with somebody like that because if they're able to muscle their way into the lane and you just lob the ball up by the rim, what are you going to do? That's pretty tough.
When you got 6'3" going against 6'9" or 6'10", you can only battle so much of that. And when you get 2 or 3 of those in there, it's just a big thing to overcome.
And then offensively, it changes your shot because it changes the trajectory of your shot, of what you're trying to do when you're trying to shoot against tall trees like that.
Yeah, it's pretty humbling when you drive in that lane and you've been able to score pretty consistent, and then all at once your shot winds up in the third row of the bleachers. It plays with your mind.
Yeah. Yep, it's a little tough to overcome. Hey, when we come back, we're going to shift gears and talk about the Woodlawn Cardinals as Brian Gamber and his Cardinals are off to a good start. We will talk to him. Coming up next on the Sports Couch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Heard the old saying, practice makes perfect. Well, there's actually a lot of truth to that, and you can get one-on-one instruction in baseball, softball, basketball, as well as speed and agility drills at the Sports Zone in Fairfield. The Sports Zone has been in business for quite some time now and has helped many area boy and girl athletes excel in their sport of choice. Lessons and practice times are available at convenient times that meet your schedule. The Sports Zone is located on Delaware Street in Fairfield, and we appreciate their support.
Real Life Radio thanks Fairfield Printing and Graphics for their partnership in local Christian radio ministry. Fairfield Printing and Graphics offers custom sizing for banners and signs, as well as yard signs, corrugated signs, and metal signs. Fairfield Printing and Graphics also specializes in custom t-shirts, business cards, wedding invitations, hats, bags, and much more. They are located at number 5 Williamson Drive in Fairfield, and their phone number is 842-4048.
It's the heating season, and Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods reminds you that they have fast, reliable propane delivery service to your home or farm. And if you need those propane bottles filled up, you can bring them to Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods for fast service. Looking for a wide selection of guns and ammunition? You'll find it at Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods. You can even search online through our website at waynewhitepropane.com. And don't forget, we also have hot tubs and supplies for your hot tub as well at Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods, located on West Main Street in Fairfield. Choosing a construction company is a big decision because many companies come and go. That's why Greenwald & Sons Construction is a name you can trust. With over 40 years of experience, Greenwald & Sons Construction in Wayne City and Mount Vernon specialize in residential and commercial construction, as well as remodeling. They'll be happy to talk to you about a church addition, business expansion, or new home construction. Greenwald & Sons Construction, the experts you can depend upon. Their number is 895-2044.
This is your home for best Christian music.
WVYN, Blueford, Wayne City, Fairfield, Mount Vernon.
And now on Translator, W288CO Centralia, broadcasting at 105.5.
A service of Real Life Radio Foundation.
The best Christian music, 90.9 The Vine.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch, here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites, live video streaming at AreaSports.net, live audio streaming at WVYN.org, and also streaming on the free Vine mobile app. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Onselman, and next on the show, we're going to talk about the Woodlawn Cardinals and head coach Brian Gamber, who joins us right now. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing really good, guys. How are you?
Just fine. Great to have you on the show, and your Woodlawn Cardinals are off to a good start this year. You got to be happy.
Yeah, we really are. You know, we had a non-conference home game to kind of get our feet wet, and then, of course, going into this, Carlisle Kaskaskia Classic, we always knew we got our work cut out for us. It's such a good tournament, so balanced, and so many good teams that, you got to play well if you want to try to get some wins out of it. And I really feel like all three games we've gotten a little better each time. And then, on Wednesday night against Freeburg, we played really well. We really did. And that's what it takes in this tournament. We know that, tonight we got Paigneyville, very, very good basketball team, does a lot of things right. But it's exciting, our kids get to play in a championship game and a championship atmosphere this early in the year, which is always something that we try to accomplish. And then, when you play somebody as good as Paigneyville, you're going to have to bring your best if you want to give yourself a chance to win. And I know our guys are excited. I'm excited. It's a good challenge for us. And our guys have already been through, a lot of tough tests early in the year, which I really think help you grow as a team and continue to improve.
Yeah, speaking of tough tests, that game against Hillsboro, double overtime that the Cardinals won 70-62. Walk us through that game. That was wild.
Yeah, it was. That was a crazy game. It was kind of back and forth for much of the game. And then, towards the end of regulation, it was, they're up one, and then we score, and we go up one, and they go up one. It's just back and forth. And then, we made 1 out of 2 free throws late, come down, got a really, really good defensive stop to send it to the first overtime. Then in the first overtime, things were looking a little tough for us. We ended up, we were down 6 with about a minute 20 left in the game. And our guys, they just hung in there. I think that was the thing I was most proud of. We had a lot of guys foul out and have some different groups in, have some guys that, didn't play a lot of minutes throughout regulation. And we just kind of kept fighting. We got to the rim, got some free throws. They made 1 out of 2. We got a turnover. And then, we got down 3 with about 30 seconds left, and they ran a double team at Blake McKay, and he kicked it to Chase Allenkamp, who banged in a 3 with about 18 seconds left in the game. And then again, get on top of that, then we have to get a really good stop and force them to take a tough perimeter shot. Then when we got into double overtime, McKay fouled out in the first 20 seconds. Rinsky had already fouled out for us. So our guy, we had a lot of guys step up. Jackson Bennett stepped up, made some big plays. Jake Martin was huge on the glass and got some big stick backs in the double overtime. And our defense was solid. I mean, our defense was solid the whole night. I know we gave up 62 points, but, in double overtime, playing 2 overtimes, it's really not bad, considering Hillsborough does have a lot of weapons that can really score. And they shot the ball very well. They really did, and they played hard and competed. So it was a gutsy win for us. It was tough. And like I said, we went through a double overtime where we had to execute down the stretch every play. And a lot of teams may not get a game like that the entire year. So for our guys to realize that even when we're down, we don't have to panic. We can still play, and we've got enough, weapons to make up ground in a hurry. I think that was big for us. I think that was a step in the right direction. Plus playing a double overtime without Blake McKay and still winning, I think that says a lot about our other guys. And I think that's only going to bode well for them and give them confidence as we move forward.
Well, Coach, I think you hit on a key point right there. I think, when you've got a player like Blake McKay, it's kind of easy for his teammates sometimes to say, hey, let's just give him the ball here in crunch time and let him take care of us. And he wasn't there. It's kind of like their security blanket wasn't there, so somebody else had to step it up, and that just makes your team a lot stronger.
It does. There's no doubt. And Blake can do a lot of things on the basketball floor, and scoring is one of them. And I think for us to be really good, our other guys have to understand that we can't just stand and watch and rely on him to do, a lot of things as far as offensively. And our guys know that, and our guy, we have a lot of guys that are willing to step up and aren't scared of taking the big shot. And like I said, and the other thing is as good as Blake is offensively, scoring it, he knows he picks and chooses moments. And the 3 at the end of the first overtime is a perfect example of, they're sending a double. A lot of times, a kid that can score, I think he had 36 that night. Probably easy to say, I'm just going to go do it. I'm going to take a shot. Didn't force it. He made the right pass, which is what we have talked to him about. And because of that, Chase gets a wide open 3, and he knocks it in. And those are things that he's going to have to continue. He's going to have to trust the fact that we have other guys that can score. He knows that. And the thing I like, our other guys aren't scared. They're not afraid to take the big shot or to try to make a play. And we're just going to continue to, try to harp on that and get that through. Because when we move the ball and we trust each other and share it and swing it, we're pretty good. We're a pretty good basketball team. And defensively, we have been really good, which is why we've had success in this tournament. And that's something that's going to have to continue. Obviously tonight when you play somebody as good as Pinckney Hill, but the rest of the year if we want to give ourselves a chance to be pretty good.
Well, I'm sure tonight Bobby Wagner's going to try to take Blake McKay. He's going to make somebody besides Blake McKay beat him tonight.
Yeah, I would say that will probably be an emphasis for them. I don't know. We'll see if he sends a double. I know that they've watched us. The last 2 games, Hillsborough and Freeburg both, they tried to run a double to get the ball out of Blake's hands. And we had some success. Blake has done a good job of, as well as he can score it, which he can. I think most people know that. He's an excellent passer. So he can see things, and he's kind of moving guys out, and our other guys, are learning, when to cut, when to flash, when to help him out. And I think, the more that he sees double teams, I think, a stat that we're trying to kind of get across is the hockey assist. Blake may not be the guy that gets the assist directly for the basket, But, if he can make that first one through the double team, now all of a sudden you're playing 4-on-3, 3-on-2, whatever it may be, and then the next pass can lead to an easy basket for us. So we're trying to get that through to where he doesn't have to try to fight through the double team, or split it and be the guy to create for the actual shot. And for those that were there against Freeburg the last 3 minutes of the game when they tried to do that, we executed as well as we ever have since I've been around. No turnovers, got easy layups, got to the free throw line, and that's what it's going to take. And like you said, I mean, they're going to guard us. They're going to guard us hard. That's something that they do no matter who they're playing. And we just got to be ready, for their physicality and them trying to get into us and, push us off our cuts and not to let us run offense. But, I think I told our guys this is about the perfect game for us to see where we are, because last year, as freshmen and sophomores, I think a lot of teams, they just would revert to physically. They're just going to try to bully us. And that was an area that we needed to get better. And so now we get a really good test for a team that relies heavily on that as far as their defensive pressure. And so we need to handle it. We need to handle their adversity. We need to play against a team that's going to get into us and try to physically manhandle us, and we'll see how we respond tonight.
I think you're right, Brian. I think that'll be a big challenge because that is a Pinckneyville team. They'll come up and they'll get inside your jersey if you'll allow that. Teams that have success against them don't, basically, like you said, they're not allowed to be bullied. So It is a challenge.
Yeah, it is, and I think most coaches understand. You're playing Pinckneyville. I mean, you're going to have to play well. You're going to have to do things right. I think more than anything, you're going to have to be tough, and not just physically. Not just the, give them the chest back or whatever it may be. You got to be tough mentally. That's just part of the game, and that's what I'm trying to get our kids to understand is, you play a team that's physical. You just got to play. You can't worry about, all the extra stuff. It's just part of it. It's just the way the game is played nowadays. And, it does you no good to worry about. I think that's the other thing is, I think they want you to worry about it because if you're worrying about, how physical it is on defense, then you forget to just play basketball. And so we're going to try to stay on our guys about, continuing to run offense, making them guard side to side, and then, really challenging them. And, same thing for them. I mean, they've got two kids that can really play and really score. And so, we're going to have to, try to do the best we can to limit those guys and make it difficult for them. But, it's a good test. It's a championship game. We know it's going to be tough. That's the way it should be. It's an excellent tournament. So to get in the championship, you've already done some things right. What I told our guys, don't get me wrong. I mean, our goal was to win it. Our goal wasn't just to get to the championship. So we're going to, come at them with everything we have and see what happens.
We are visiting with the head coach, Brian Gamber of the Woodlawn Cardinals. And, Brian, of course, you had a move-in transfer this year from Mount Vernon and Jake Martin. And it seems like Jake is fitting in very, very well into your system and might be that extra piece that you needed to go even farther.
Yeah, I mean, he fits in great with the group that we have. He's just such a good kid. He's a very polite, respectful kid. And, he's very unselfish, very team-oriented. And his thing, and the thing that we have, told him early, and I'm going to tell him every day is, he's had a couple games in this tournament where if you would look and say, wow, he only had 5 points or 8 points, whatever it is, he does not have to score to be an impact player for us. And what he's done for us, he's averaging almost 10 rebounds a game this whole year, our first, 4 games. That in itself is just as important as a kid scoring 15 to 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And we have controlled the defensive glass this year, which that was an area that we really, really struggled on last year. And so, for him, and it's not just him. I mean, we've had other guys grow, and, they've gotten taller and longer, more athletic. But we have a kid like him that can get you, 10 to 12 rebounds a night, which is a ton in high school basketball. That can really change things. And defensively for us, which we're still kind of, figuring it out, we haven't really had a guy like that the last 2 years. So for me, I'm trying to still figure out, we really don't need, to help or double team down in the post because we've got a guy that can just, push somebody out completely and take them out. And he can also guard on the perimeter, which is good. I mean, he just makes us very versatile. And offensively, I do think as time goes on, he's going to settle in and kind of, figure out how he can score and use his body playing for us. And so I think he's only going to improve. But, yeah, I mean, as far as fitting in, you couldn't ask for a better kid. I mean, he does everything that you want. And a very team-oriented guy. And, I know all of our kids, they really enjoy playing with him. And it's been a good start with him so far, so I'm excited for the rest of the year with him.
Well, Brian, we want to congratulate you on the season so far, and best of luck tonight as you prepare for those Pinckneyville Panthers. Should be a barn burner there at Carlisle. I'm sure the place will be packed.
Yeah, should be a good atmosphere, so we're excited. And, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, take care. We'll talk to you down the line, okay? All righty.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye. That is Coach Brian Gamber of the Woodlawn Cardinals, and off to a good start. And what a matchup tonight they will have, Danny, against the Pinckneyville Panthers for the championship of that Kaskaskian tournament in Carlisle.
Yes, that'll be a good game. We're having some pretty high-impact games here early in the season.
I'm telling you, we are. There's some big ones around the area today and tonight. There really are.
That'll be a good challenge, but that's what makes Woodlawn tournament ready right there. People don't understand how they always make a deep run. I'm telling you, this basketball they played up there this week has prepared them for season-ending tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Doug Miller of the Hamilton County Foxes. They will continue play tonight at the Goreville tournament. We'll talk to Doug about how the week's been going. Yeah, this morning, that's right.
10 o'clock.
We'll be right back.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
The radio ministry of 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine appreciates the underwriting support of Guero's Mexican Restaurant in Mount Vernon. Guero's offers the finest Mexican cuisine in a pleasant and inviting atmosphere in the heart of Mount Vernon's downtown. They are open 7 days a week, 11 to 9 Sunday through Thursday, and 11 to 10 Friday and Saturday. They are located at 222 South 9th Street in Mount Vernon. You can find them on Facebook, and their phone number is 315-6369.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming at AreaSports.net, live audio streaming at WBYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Ounceman. Hamilton County Foxes resumed play this morning at the Goreville tournament. In fact, they're going to be tipping off here in about 45 minutes, so we're going to have a little pregame interview here with head coach of the Foxes. That's Doug Miller. Good morning, Doug. How are you? Whoop. Whoa, I'm getting a little feedback here, Doug. I don't know what's going on here on this. Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on. We got a little buzz here. Let me try to play with this a little bit. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, Doug Miller. We're trying to get hooked up with Doug Miller here from Goreville here this morning. His Foxes fall to Johnson City last night, 46-41. Earlier in the week, the Foxes picked up a big win over Goreville, 53-49.
Boy, we got a bad buzz on that. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, you might want to call him back. So, anyway, his team's going to be taking on the undefeated Benton Rangers here this morning at 10 o'clock. The Benton Rangers have played some good basketball down there at Goreville this week. They defeated Johnson City 60-49. Anna Jonesboro defeated Hamilton County 51-37, and Hardin County has been kind of a surprise team. They've started 2-0.
I think we got him now. Doug, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, that's better. Boy, I don't know what that buzz was. That was bad. Okay. You got a big game this morning.
We do, in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, Doug, your team is 1-2 headed into today's action. You've got the Benton Rangers this morning at 10 o'clock, and then at 4:30 you'll face the Hardin County Cougars. So a couple pretty tough games here today.
we have two very tough games today, and Ron will start pressing us as soon as we get off the bus. So
yeah,
press right going.
His Benton Rangers come out last night, and they kind of jumped all over the Hardin County Cougars. So I'm sure that's kind of thinking what he's going to try on you today, right?
I'd say a similar game plan. They're going to come out and press us hard. They're going to drive and kick, hit threes. Last night they were unconscious last night. They made the first, probably 8 of 10 threes.
Yeah. Last night your Foxes fall to Johnson City 46-41 in a game that was very competitive from start to finish. There in the fourth quarter, that game was kind of back and forth, and unfortunately at the end it came down to kind of free throw shooting, and your Foxes wasn't able to put some in the hole last night.
That's true. We said two things that started that game. The balls that were rolling on the ground, they dove on and got, and free throws. So them two things decided the game. But give Coach Brzezinski the credit. He did a good job last night. But give our kids credit for playing hard and having a chance to win at the end.
Yeah, this week your team has really grown up as a basketball team, I think, Doug, sitting back. Been trying to broadcast games, not had a lot of luck at that this week. I've struggled down there this week also, so don't feel like you're the Lone Ranger down there. But your team got a big win on Wednesday night against a very good Goreville team to go in there and beat them at home on their home floor. You made free throws that night, and that was the difference. And I'm like you last night. I thought the 50-50 balls, Johnson City got the biggest part of those. And it seemed like every time you had a stop or something, the ball would bounce off a hand, wind up in theirs, and they got 2 or 3 pretty easy baskets, and those things hurt during the game.
You're right, Danny. They scored every time they got a ball that was loose. They hit a 3 off of it. They got 2 bunnies off of it. So if we dive on the ball and get them loose balls, they come the other way.
Yeah, it's about the small things sometimes in a basketball game, Doug. When two teams are, when you look at your team, you look at the Johnson City Indians, size-wise, quickness-wise, shooter-wise. You can play 10 times, and it could very easily be 5-5, in my opinion.
And Johnson City, they almost got bitten beat on Monday. It was 44-41. Johnson City's leading the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes to go, and then Benton went on like an 8-0 run to beat them. So Johnson City's going to be a good basketball team this year.
Well, the Hall kid, you hold him scoreless the first half, and he comes out and he scores 11 points in the fourth quarter. He hit 3 threes right off the bat and kind of got them back in the ball game. Your Foxes were leading 20-13 at halftime. Felt pretty good going into half and come out, and then it was just a dogfight the rest of the game.
And we didn't guard as well the second half. We went behind screens instead of over screens, and we didn't help as well, and that hurt us on a couple of big plays.
One player that's kind of stood out to me this week, a young man that has dramatically improved, in my opinion, is Gus Walden.
He has. He had 8-hour conditioning with us all since August 12th. And we have lifted weights with him and done jump ropes and footwork with him, and he's been very dedicated and very coachable, and we're proud of Gus for getting better. He's only a junior, so we'll see what Gus can do in the next 2 years.
I'm amazed at his jumping ability in there around the rim. He plays above the rim quite a bit.
He does, and the way he boarded the first 2 games is amazing. So we're hoping he does that today as well.
Yeah, on Wednesday night he had 13 points and 12 rebounds. If you can get that from him night in, night out, you're going to be very happy, aren't you?
I'll be a better coach if I can keep doing that.
Well, what do you think about this Hardin County team? They've kind of been a little bit of a surprise team this week.
Well, I was the only one that called it because they were in my conference last year. They have 2 twin brothers that are really quick and athletic, and they brought their point guard back, Jared Austin, and they brought Jordan Fowler back, and then 6'6" Cavalier kids back. So that's the same starters they had last year. So they didn't lose a whole lot, and I knew they were going to be pretty competitive this year.
Well, it's been a good week of basketball down there. There's been a lot of good games down there this week, and it's been a nice way to start the season.
It has, and I told my guys, I said, anytime you can compete and have a chance to win at the end, let me try to coach the last 2 minutes of the game. It's fun. It's fun for our fans. It's fun for our kids, and hopefully we'll come out on top more than not. But Martin Duffy, my good friend Martin Duffy, he always says all big games will be decided by free throws. They made theirs, we did not.
Yeah, I said early on during my broadcast last night, I said I can envision this game coming down to free throw shooting contest. And I was right on there because that was the deciding factor in the game last night.
We missed 4 in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, you missed 2. It was a 1-point ball game. You missed 2. They come down. They make 2. You go back to the other end. You make 1 out of 2. They come down and hit a 3. So, you can't give up opportunities. They call those free for one thing. But it's like we've talked to some of the other coaches here this morning. Scott McElravy said, his team right now, probably the thing that's keeping them from being a better team than they are is the free throw shooting. And he said it's something that we work on every day. He said you just can't replicate game situations where people are standing up and yelling at you to miss, and guys are trash talking you along the line and stuff. You just can't replicate that in practice. And he said it's hard to, he said I got kids that can step up there and practice and make 8 out of 10, and he said to go 4 out of 10 in the game.
Yeah, you're very right. But
well, Doug, we know you got to get ready to go. You got a game to coach here in about 35 minutes, so we appreciate you taking time out with us this morning on the pregame show.
Yeah.
And best of luck today for your Foxes down there at Goreville, all right?
all right, thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Good luck today.
Take care. All righty. Bye-bye. That is Coach Doug Miller, and not too many guys that would take time out to talk to us this close before a tip-off, so appreciate his time in doing that. Really do. And so a couple big games down there today, and, boy, that was a nail-biter there with Johnston City, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that game was back and forth the whole second half. Foxes led 20-13 at halftime, and I felt pretty good. But they come out and hit 3 threes right off the bat to get right back in that game, and then it was just a struggle to the end. 50-50 balls and free throws was the deciding factor.
Yep. All right. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Phil Leib of the Florida Wolves, see how his season's off so far. We'll do that right next on the Sports Couch. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Hamilton County Flooring on the south side of the square in McLeansboro offers a full line of flooring, cabinets, and countertops for your home or business. Countertops or showers are available in granite, quartz, corian, custom marble, or ceramic tile. Their showroom includes a complete line of flooring available in ceramic tile, cork, bamboo, hardwood, vinyl, laminate, and carpeting, including name brands such as Armstrong, Bruce, Marazzi, Mulligan, Shaw, and Tarkett. We thank Hamilton County Flooring in McLeansboro for their support. Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7322.
Underwriting on the Vine is provided by B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon. B&C Bicycle Fitness specializes in bikes for the beginning rider to the high-end racer and can equip you with a comfortable bike to enjoy a healthy, active lifestyle with family and friends. B&C Bicycle Fitness is a full-service bicycle shop and is located at 410 South 27th Street in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 816-4077. B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon, where the adventure begins.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. And of course, you can also listen on the free Vine mobile app. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Outselman. Going to talk about the Florida Wolves right now. And joining us is the head coach of the Wolves. That's Phil Leib. Good morning, Phil. How are you?
Hey, I'm very blessed. Thank you. How are you guys?
Great. Good to have you on the show. First time we've had a chance to visit with you this basketball season. You've already got some games under your belt there. That's a tough competition over there at that Kaskaskin Classic in Carlisle, isn't it?
Absolutely. We find out what we have real quickly. We went right into a hot, burning fire, and hopefully we're getting refined by that. But at the same time, hopefully we're learning some things from that.
I started to say, Coach, who done you the favors over there, Oakville and Greenville, to start out the tournament?
We got all the Villes. We got Pinckneyville, Oakville, and Greenville.
You're just playing all the Bills, yeah.
All the Villes.
Oh, that's something else. Yeah, that is a tough. That is really, really tough competition over there. How many guys you got coming back from last year's team?
0.
Really? Wow.
We had Nick Schaefer, who was playing some varsity minutes for us, more like the sixth man row for us, and then he got hurt beginning of January, and he was out the rest of the year. So, of our top 6 kids, 4 of those guys were hurt last year, half the season or more.
Wow.
Whether that was at junior high, at fresh soft, or at JV.
Mm-hmm.
So so you combat that with that lack of experience, not only playing, but the lack of experience as far as at the varsity competition. We really only have 2 kids. I mean, Nick Schaefer saw some varsity minutes last year, and then Isaiah Cohn just a glimpse of it. But you can practice and prepare yourself as much as you want, but sometimes going up against JV is not going to prepare you against Pinckneyville.
Right.
The kids found that out real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, that's always a hard thing to do, is replicate game speed and things like that in practice. It's especially at the smaller schools, because you're limited on your numbers and things like that. And a lot of times it's kind of a slap in the face. You can feel pretty good about practice, but you take it to the game floor and things change.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a false sense of security. In practice, sometimes you make 1 or 2 passes on the offense and get a great look. Well, in reality, in varsity competition, you're going to have to work the ball a little bit more than that. You're actually going to have to headhunt and screen somebody. You're actually going to have to beat cut and rub off screens. You're actually going to have to get back on defense and contest shots and wall up and check out and all those things that you emphasize over and over and over. But sometimes that game is the self-motivator in itself. It proves the coach is smarter sometimes and their words worthwhile as far as to listen to, because they maybe think, oh man, I guess Coach Leib didn't know what he was talking about. It is going to be intense. It is going to be pressure. We do need to do those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, have you talked to your brother Greg to see if he might be willing to loan you a few players for a while, or what?
I say that every year, but he never does.
Yeah.
But he got his hands full over there. I think he doesn't have a senior on his club.
Is that right?
So
No
it'll
kidding.
be a great senior night for him. But other than that, they're going to do okay. I mean, they really struggled last year, but no one cared since he had such great success the previous 3 or 4 years before that. So,
right.
But they're going to do fine. All-Toff basketball is great, and he's doing a fine job with them. But we talk about once a week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
After you get out of this tournament, who do you got next on your schedule, Coach?
Oh, it gets so much easier. We go to Edwards County. I say that facetiously.
Yeah.
Coach Gerlach, he returns. I think they lost 1 player back on last year's squad. So he returns that entire lineup. And I tell you what, I'm just glad we're playing basketball, not a wrestling match. They would just destroy us. I mean, they're not only tall, but they are physical. They're huge.
Yeah, they are.
They got some skills to go with it. They got the Snicker kid, as far as out the guard, the Wallace kid on inside.
Mm-hmm.
They got great, say role players, but they could be valuable players in any other program sometimes. But anyway, he's got them going well, and that's going to be a tough place to play at their place. And right now, we're just trying to get better each and every game, each and every possession. We're trying to get the wins where we can, as far as not necessarily on the scoreboard, but in the stat column and the competitive column, as far as things we set goals to get ourselves ready to compete. By the time it gets ready, January, February rolls around.
Well, you've always been one of those coaches that really tries to teach life lessons to your players, too, and not just about the X's and O's of basketball. And, taking these lumps here early on in the season, there's going to be a lot of lumps that you're going to face in life, too. So this is a learning experience from that perspective for your players.
Oh, absolutely. That's something they're going to learn is you're going to get knocked down a lot in life. And as long as you can fall on your back, you can look up. If you can look up, you can get up. So that's the way we look at it. And, sometimes you get tired of getting knocked down. You like to be the one doing the knocking. But that's just not the way it is right now.
Yeah.
Like you said, life is rough. I mean, life can be great and it's enjoyable. But at the same time, time, it's what you bring each and every day, the attitude you go about with it, as far as the gratefulness, just being blessed with the blessings that we have, the thankfulness that we're able to go out and compete, and we have our legs and our arms, our athleticism to just compete at that level. But so many times we get so caught up as far as what the world may describe us and how the world defines us as, well, if you don't win, you're a loser. You're not a loser. You're never a loser unless you stop. As long as you keep trying, as long as you keep fighting, you're a winner.
Did you add any games to your schedule this year with the IHSA's new thing of being able to play 31 games? Did the Wolves pick up any additional teams on the schedule this year?
No, because the way it is, with our tournament play, usually we get about almost 28, 29 games anyway. But we didn't pick up any extra games. And I know they're thinking that's going to be great and this, that, and the other, but at the same time, I don't understand. I mean, it's such a long season anyway.
Yeah.
It seems like kids are battling and programs are battling injuries, so I don't understand why we'd want to add more games to that, unless they just don't want to have those practices. But sometimes I think games are great, but sometimes you just rather be back in the gym.
Yeah.
Working on things to get yourself ready for the game.
You know, Coach, you're the second guy that's told us that. He said, I didn't pick up any games because he said, I got to have practice time sometime. He said, I can't get better playing games. He said, I've got to get better with practice. He said, if I keep going and replicating the same mistakes that we're making and we don't ever have any time to correct it, we don't get better.
That's right. I mean, you can talk about it. You can draw it up on a board, but until you actually go out and do it in practice-type situations to carry it over to the games, you don't get better. You just reinforce bad habits. So,
that was right. That was Coach Creel that told us that, wasn't it? Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, we was talking about it, not putting any games on the schedule.
Yep. So he said, I'm going to have a wait-and-see attitude on that and see. But he said, I think I'd rather have the practice time at this point. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning, and we wish you luck and hope that you're able to continue to improve and build upon things there at Flora. I know that you will, and hopefully the kids are coachable this year and that they'll learn from you not only about the X's and O's of basketball, but some life skills as well along the way.
Oh, I think they will, and I think they're great kids. They're awesome to work with. They are coachable. We are not the great athletes right now. We don't have the physicality that a lot of other schools do or the height. But we have heart, we got character, and we got class. And I'll take that a lot of times over any of those other things.
Absolutely. Well said. Phil, we appreciate your time this morning, and you have yourself a good weekend. We'll talk to you down the line, okay?
Hey, sounds great. Thank you so much, guys.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it.
Okay.
Merry Christmas to your family.
Hey, thank you.
All right.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
Okay, bye-bye. That's Phil Leib, head coach of the Flora Wolves, and, very honest this morning. The fact that, he has no players returning. He had a number 6 man returning from last year's team. He's injured. So, the cupboard's pretty empty there at Flora. Not a lot of athleticism or size this year. And they're just doing the best they can and taking baby steps. But, again, he's one of those type of coaches that goes much farther than teaches the X and O's of basketball.
He's teaching them the things that they're going to need to know.
Things they need to know in life. That's right. And what a good guy.
Yep,
he really is.
Absolutely.
And if you've got a son that plays for Phil Leib or has played for Phil Leib, well, you're blessed because he's one of the good guys out there.
He's one of the good guys.
He sure is. Hey, we got one more coach to squeeze in on the show this morning. I'll talk to Coach Brad Beaty of the Weber Township Trojans. We'll talk to Brad when we come back after these messages from some of our underwriters.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
It's the heating season, and Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods reminds you that they have fast, reliable propane delivery service to your home or farm. And if you need those propane bottles filled up, you can bring them to Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods for fast service. Looking for a wide selection of guns and ammunition? You'll find it at Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods. You can even search online through our website at WayneWhitePropane.com. And don't forget, we also have hot tubs and supplies for your hot tub as well at Wayne White Propane and Sporting Goods, located on West Main Street in Fairfield.
Programming on 90.9 The Vine is underwritten by ProVision Eye Care. Located in Mount Vernon, ProVision Eye Care has a 90-year history of serving Jefferson and surrounding counties. They provide quality comprehensive eye exams along with diagnosing and treating eye disease. ProVision Eye Care is located at 112 South 42nd Street, and their phone number is 244-0508. Dr. Jennifer Bass would like to share a passage from Proverbs 29:18, "Where there is no vision, the people perish."
Real Life Radio thanks Fairfield Printing and Graphics for their partnership in local Christian radio ministry. Fairfield Printing and Graphics offers custom sizing for banners and signs, as well as yard signs, corrugated signs, and metal signs. Fairfield Printing and Graphics also specializes in custom t-shirts, business cards, wedding invitations, hats, bags, and much more. They are located at number 5 Williamson Drive in Fairfield, and their phone number is 842-4048.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites, live video streaming at AreaSports.net, live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio along with Danny Anselman. One more guest on the show this morning, and that is the Weber Township Trojans coach, Brad Beaty, who joins us right now. Good morning, Brad. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Randy. How are you, Danny, doing?
Good. Good to have you on the Sports Couch. Of course, that Weber Township Dream Team has graduated from a year ago, but hey, you still got some good guys to work with this year, and the main thing is those guys that you have back got to practice against those guys all that time, so that's had to make an impact on them growing up.
It did. We're headed to El Dorado right now on a bus, and here with Coach Wiggins, Coach Hammersky, and we've got them on board here, and hey, they've sat back for 2 years, and they've been waiting on their time, the spotlight, and it's here now. And the past 4 years, but hey, we're excited with this group. They're a hard-working group. They're very coachable. We're just each week we're going to get better. We know that. We told them that it's just a process. We got to get them some experience, and so we're at the start. Went down to Christopher last week and got one win. So hey, we got that underneath our belt. Now we're off and rolling.
Well, you mentioned the key word, coachable, and that's so important in interscholastic athletics today because, boy, if guys aren't coachable, it can be a long, arduous season. But if a kid will buy into your program, they are coachable, they'll listen, they'll take they'll take advantage of what you're trying to teach them. It makes it a better situation for both them and for you.
It does. I mean, it's hard on a coach when he has a team, and you could have a lot of talent, but if they're not coachable, it's hard to get a lot of things done. But fortunately for us, we don't. We got about 13 kids. I call them sponges. I mean, they soak in everything that we're teaching, and it makes it fun as a coaching staff. And we're excited. Like I told them, I said, hey, we're not expecting you guys to come out and right off the bat and pick things up. I think we got to get them out on the floor. And I think right now we're trying to adjust to the speed of the game, but you can just tell each game, they take one step forward, and I told them, I said, as long as we're doing that, we're heading the right direction.
Yeah, Coach, that's part of the growing process when you've got a young team coming out on the floor that hadn't had a lot of varsity minutes. There's some growing pains throughout that season, and you just want to improve and get better each and every night, don't you?
So true. We got Dalton Adcock. Of course, he started last year pretty well every game for us. And Caden Taylor, right there at the end of the season, had about 3 games he put together, and I thought that really got him jump-started. Now he's off to a really good start this season. He put up 29 his last game against the He's 6'4", athletic kid. We can play him inside, outside. Of course, Dalton Adcock, he'll handle most of the point guard skills. And then we got a couple 6'6" juniors that we're real high on, and so it's a matter of getting these guys together, and I feel good about it. Like I told them, I said, hey, by the conference tournament, I really think we'll see our best basketball.
Well, you got a game. You say you're headed to El Dorado this morning?
Yeah, we'll have our hands full. I know this is a team here they've been putting together for the last 2 years. And, the Penn kids can start for anybody in Southern Illinois, 3A, 2A, it don't matter. He's an athletic kid that's hard to guard, whether he's playing zone or you're in man. He's going to put the ball in the basket, and they got some pieces to go with him. So it's a good game for us. Kind of go down here and figure out where we're at and play against a good team that has high expectations in the postseason.
Well, and then it'll just be the blink of an eye, and it'll be Conrad Allen tourney time, and there'll be some great basketball there.
I'm looking forward to that. You got Gallatin County, who I seen beat El Dorado last night.
Right.
That game there, that the last 2 or 3 years has been, just a back and forth. But anytime you can beat El Dorado team who's still really, really good, that's a big win for them. And of course, you got Wayne City, who's off to a hot start, and then Red Hill, who Coach Flanagan, a good friend of mine at Albany, they played them, and he said Red Hill's got the Moore kid back, and so there's some really good teams over there. Should be a good challenge for us.
Yeah, they beat a Lawrenceville team last night, so should be some good basketball there at that Conrad Allen.
It will, and a very good hospitality room. Let's not forget that either.
Oh yeah, it's one of the better ones, that's for sure.
Only you and Randy.
Yeah, we plan on camping out in there a little bit.
I think I can put Jack Bullock in that too. Jack's pretty good about sniffing out hospitality.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to throw Jack in with that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. Well, Brad, we'll let you go since you're getting ready for your game there on the bus, but we appreciate you taking a little time to chat with us this morning about the Trojans, and we look forward to seeing you play in that Conrad Allen tournament next week. It kicks off next Saturday, and it'll be interesting to see how your team grows along the season.
Well, we're excited about it, and we enjoy the coverage you guys give us, and I think there's some really good basketball out there. Sester plays Fairfield tonight.
Right.
From a fan standpoint, that'd be a game right there. I think if you really love basketball, you need to get out to Sester and see that game.
Fairfield. Yeah. You also got Woodlawn against Pinckneyville tonight too,
yeah.
and
paper, rock, scissors, and figure out where you're headed.
Right, and then you got Mount Vernon against St. Louis de Smet this afternoon over in Edwardsville. So there's a lot of good games around the area today and tonight. Yep.
That'd be interesting. Coach Creel going up against Kent. So,
yep.
Yeah, hey, there's a lot of good basketball.
There sure is. Sure is. Well, good luck in your game today there at Alvarado, and we'll talk to you down the line then, Brad. Okay.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Brad Beaty, head coach of the Weber Township Trojans. Well, you know what? He's got Adcock and Taylor back.
I'm telling you, this Taylor boy's a good ball player.
Yeah, and he's got some size there. Got a couple juniors running about 6'6", so he can do some things with that. So pretty interesting. We're about out of time. Anything else we need to add this morning, Danny?
Cardinals still haven't done anything.
No, they haven't. They've been talking a lot, but we're not seeing any action yet. And meanwhile, you got another guy off the board as the guy from the Toronto Blue Jays, Donaldson has signed with Atlanta. So
I didn't think he was a good sign for the Cardinals. I mean, this guy's toward the twilight of his career.
Yeah, he's 32, 33 years old, I think.
He's had 2 injury-riddled seasons. It's just not I think there's some better options for the Cardinals out there.
But, somewhere along the line, you got to start making some moves.
You got to do something. You can't just talk about it.
No.
Talk's cheap.
No, because the team that they finished the year with last year is not good enough to beat the Brewers and the Cubs.
No, it's not. It's not good enough to compete in the division.
You gotta add some pieces to it. All right, well, we're going to wrap things up and get out of here. Danny will be down at Goreville.
4:30.
4:30 for a game today between the Foxes, and who will they play at that time?
Hardin County Cougars. Should be a good matchup.
Yeah, Hardin County playing some good basketball this year. So, if you can't make it down there to Goreville, you can watch that game on FoxesFans.net. Hopefully so. All right.
That's a big maybe.
We'll be back next Saturday morning for another edition of the Sports Couch. We'll also be bringing you some action from the Conrad Allen Tournament next Saturday as well on AreaSports.net. Hope that you can join us. Have yourself a great weekend, everyone. Talk to you later, all right? So long.